Yes, funguje to. Funguje to. Máme cestu.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to...
Ano, vím, kde jsem. Vím, kde jsem, děkuji. Děkuji.
A warning. She will lie. We might as well... Can we tone down? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
Tohle je nový voice?
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Jako nejvtipnější na tom je to, že my teď vlastně nemluvíme s tím narátorem vůbec, že?
I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her.
Právě.
But if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. If that's what you want.
Tak se uvidíme teď.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Dobře, vezmu si nůž.
You take the blade from the altar.
A otevřeme to evidentně.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Almost.
This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Witness me? Počkat, nebylo to náhodou v Mad Maxovi? Witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming.
Oh shit.
She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Ano, chceme
Should
vidět.
we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Yes, sir.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her.
What the fuck?
It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
Takže má na sobě tím pádem.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
Že to neexistuje.
You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Ne.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
Ale já jsem ho držel.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember?
Ano.
Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Vážně? Ne.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
Mě vážně položila.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met,
The last time we met.
nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I trust to deal with her. Then you shouldn't have trusted us.
A teďko narátor
There was
začíná chápat, co se
nothing we
děje.
could do to stop her then. And there's nothing we can do to stop her now. He's being melodramatic, but
Isn't it?
yeah, we've been here before and she absolutely destroyed us. What are we even supposed to do? That's worrying.
Řekli.
Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Já budu teda schválně sticha, jo.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen? You're less broken than I thought. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants.
What the
No
fuck?
objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Jo, takže já nemůžu udělat nic jiného.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance.
Radiance už prosím ne.
Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
No jasně.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
End this.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and
Nemám
brings
na
it
výběr
towards your
aktuálně.
throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Já čověče ještě ji můžu zkusit zabít. Tohle je strašně zajímavý. Kdybychom to zkusili udělat obráceně teďko. Jako dopadne to stejně tak, že ona zabije mě, že jo?
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Se udusím.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants. You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Zkusíme to ještě teda jednou.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. You're the one making things difficult. You're the...
Stop.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Well, that's the meaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her.
Já ji ještě pořád můžu zabít. Ty vole. Tohle je strašně zajímavý. Dobře, ok, plač.
That's right. I can feel your heart opening to me. And there's what you've been chasing. The motivation that dragged you across the floor, bleeding and choking. I am destined to destroy the world. Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart, as if it's a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for us to seize my destiny.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high, not when you're...
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you, where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about?
I don't care what you are. You're mine. Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
Wow.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
Co se bude dít teď?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Takže on to byl vážně konec pro tu entitu? Nevezme si ji rukou někdy, je čas odejít.
She's gone.
Paměť se ti vrací.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Is that a...
OK. Tak mi neříkejte, že já jsem se zase změnil.
It feels different. Final. I don't want...
You are withered. What the fuck? Najdi sebe opět v tom stínu, nebo v tom tichu. Jsi v kabině. Nebo u kabiny.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction.
The fuck?
A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Já se jí sválně zeptám znova na to, kolik ještě potřebuje veslu.
We will know when we near our destination.
OK, dobrá. Je čas jít nazpátek.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Rána. Chapter 1. Funguje to.
You're on a path in the
Ano,
woods.
vím, kde jsem. Ano, vím, co mám udělat, děkuji. Dobře, děkuji.
You make your way up.
Ano, vím, co mám dělat, děkuji, narátore. V pořádku.
You take the blade.
Ano. Tak. Pamatuje se z vás, kdo čete, jakou jsme se ještě nevydali cestou. Protože to je strašně divný. Je divný, že by ta hra, která je takhle komplexní, byla opravdu jenom o tom, že ty teda jednou se dostaneš ty entitě, takže ty jakoby rozbiješ tu hru a pak už prostě dojdeš dál, jo. To je fakt divný.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
Tak.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Co to je NNE?
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
Tohle je pořád stejný. Zahodím nůž.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Tohle už je taky stejný, že jo?
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
To je divný. Jako kdyby tam už nebyla žádná jiná cesta, jak to změnit. Dostanu tě ven. Examine the chains.
Oh, you have to be. You walk up there large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere up's doubtful.
Jo, jasně. A teďko já se můžu vrátit zpátky. Pro klíč.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the base. Is someone else here?
Tak. Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
To je, jak kdyby ten narátor mě zamknul.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again.
Dobře.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Strašně zvláštní.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Já nemám na výběr.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down. The princess flinches as you strike and your weapon sinks into her shoulder.
You bastard. If I have to kill you to leave this place, I'll do it.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us.
Počkej, to nezranilo?
It's an act. She's unarmed and there's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you raise your blade to strike again, she kicks out, knocking your legs out from under you. The two of you struggle on the ground. You lash out with the blade, slicing wherever you can. Her fists connect with your body again and again, each blow stronger than the last, shattering bone and rupturing tissue with reckless abandon. Forget trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
Já nemůžu udělat nic jiného, musím zabít.
You roll out of her grasp and shakily push yourself back to your feet. Though every inch of you is in pain, the princess probably has it worse. Blood pours out from countless gashes, staining her once pristine dress. She pauses for a moment, catching her breath, staring at you with wild eyes. We can still turn this around.
Já musím, no.
You steel your resolve and take another step towards the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? What was that about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen?
Uh-huh.
I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun. You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have the time to worry over her words. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Počkej, cože? Je to četvrtva?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Já vím, děkuji. Ale teď jsem zabil princeznu a ona zabila mě, proč jsem tady?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning.
Winning.
That's the spirit.
Dobře, okay.
A warning. She will lie lying. Are you sure? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice.
On neví o těch cyklech. No to já chápu. Jo, vlastně, jasně.
The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there.
Jo.
So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Takže narátor sám o sobě je zamčený v tom jednom pokusu jako takovém, vždycky. A pak přijde jako bejnový narátor.
Crystal.
Jo.
Let's just get on with it already.
OK. Teďka by to měla být nová kabina. Znova.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Neber si sebou nůž.
The blade is your implement.
No já si podle mě nůž vezmu, protože... Proč bych si ho teď nevzal, když to je nový pokus?
You take the blade from the altar. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope, but There was a mirror, now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Moc mě to baví a tady máš kilo na kafe. Tohle bude dlouhá noc ex.
No, zajímavé to je, čo dlouho ještě sama vydržím, protože taky bych chtěl vidět jako ten true ending, ale ta krávo, jestli to má jako 100 endingů, tak to tady budeme týden,
its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce...
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
Ano, to je vážně úplně jiný.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Právě, no.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes! I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Takže si mě pamatuješ.
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking. All right. Fine. I believe you. What? What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. That's all the more reason to take this seriously. You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Ciao, Olivera, děkuji.
Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Tady je strašně moc možností teďka. Jenom protože tě to štve, tak to budu brát ještě méně seriózně.
You're joking, right? I'm just going to pretend that you're joking. Yeah, you better be joking.
Tak. Teďka na něj můžu zaútočit. A nebo prostě odejít. Ty bláho, tohle je zajímavý. Nevím, co se stalo naposled od té doby, co jsme spolu se potkali, ale nebudu bojovat s obryní prostě, jo. Otoč se a odejdi.
Oh, you've got another thing coming if you think you can just turn around and leave.
As you step towards the stairs, you hear the heavy creak of straining metal, and then a snap. She's loose. You have to make a decision and you have to make it fast.
Do prdele. Bojuj, uteč, snaž se, umři. Dobře. Okay. Tak schválně.
As the princess barrels towards you, you do your best to maneuver between the tight walls of the basement. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her. She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die.
To prdele. Tam nebyla žádná jiná cesta tím pádem, ale.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
To je zvláštní, jak kdyby některý chaptery měly 3 kapitoly a některý prostě třeba jenom jednu.
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner?
Všichni to, kdo z nás neví.
No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met.
Takže ten narrátor opravdu to neví.
Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here. And if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that. There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here, are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct.
No, kabina. Jdem.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? What I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall. A pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement, see? We have even less space than before.
Yes,
we need space or she'll kill us. Take it.
Dobře, vezmu si ho.
You take the blade from the altar. Good. There's no... You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You do see it.
Generátor vidí dveře a já vidím zrcadlo.
All we see is a damned mirror. This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there.
Smash it.
You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom.
Ani neorientuju v té
It will
grafice.
require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Go to her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling. Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
Tohle je reference na jednoho bose z katáče.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way.
Skakače, ne, z kataklizmu.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're going to do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
No. Já ho chci vážně zabít. Já mám pocit, že tady to nebude řešení prostě. Step closer.
You step forward, stopping just outside the reach of her chains. The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something tricky, aren't you? You're teasing me with what I want, but I'm sick of waiting. I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight. I'm going to get what I want.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Do it. Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
Jako nezdá se, že by se s ní dalo mluvit, no. Chceš to opravdu udělat? Dobře, já to zkusím, jo. Zkusíme jedna.
The princess scoffs.
Free? This is just another place. This is just...
A, výborně.
What is this? Where are we? This doesn't feel right. It's cold. Why is it so cold? I feel so tired.
Jasně. Já už to chápu.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
Takže cílem je dostat ty jejich verze ven. Ta kabina je prostě jejich vězení.
Why now? Screw the mirror.
You are unraveled. Tak, jsme zpátky v Long Quitu. Kde je? Tady.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the Long Quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Počkat, ona už teďko mluví o konci. Moment. Pokud tohle je poslední stáž před tvojí kompletací, tak nejdu zpátky. Počkat.
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough. And then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
Finále.
Kdo se ptal na tvůj názor?
Predávám první info z nové sezóny v Marvel SNAPU. Přidali Vanpool, 4 šestiny, 3x vybere kartu v ruce a dají plus 2 pahuel. Samozřejmě je za P4HEAD.
Děkuji, Maxmeta, děkuji.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Tak, dámy a pánové, teď potřebuji váš maximální fokus, jo? Vypněte všechno. Držubu. Vypněte všechno a teďka potřebujeme udělat jeden ending, který jsme ještě neprošli. Jeden.
You make your way up the short path to the...
Dobrý, takže já si nebudu brát nůž schválně, jo. Dobrá.
The door to the paper void.
Hello? Is someone there?
Is hypnotizing. Don't let it...
Tak. Nemám nůž. Nemám nůž. Dobrý, nemám nůž a to prostě dolů, jo.
You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's beautiful.
Tak. Dokázal bych jí oslovit bez toho nože? To jsme ještě neměli, že jo, tohle. Fajn. Zkusím tě osvobodit.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here.
Jasně. Jo, to je zajímavý. On nás zavře a my jsme tady prostě oba dva umřem. Pravděpodobně. Takže jdu zkusit dojít pro klíč. Oni nás zavřou.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out. Is someone else?
Ano. Teď nás zavřeli.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Tak a teďko tady prostě oba umřeme, ty vole, hladem a žízní a vším.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
Tohle jsem ještě neslyšel.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Ty krávo.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Jak se sem
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Tak ji zachráníme.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain you cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
No, she didn't.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Je to jiný, není to jiný, je to stejný.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
Takže já ji můžu teďko ještě jednoduše zabít, prostě. Dobře, dobře.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world.
It can't just end like this, right?
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. Everything goes dark.
And you die. Chapter 2. Yes. The Witch. Okay. Tohle je verze, kterou ještě neviděli.
You're on a path. You're here.
Tak. Dem.
A warning. She will lie.
Don't worry.
Voice of the opportunist.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
Takhle, chci podle mě si vzít zase nůž.
You take well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs.
That's not actually a bad idea.
Kolik to má konců? 97. Prej. No.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Probably. Dobře, pozdravíme ji, jo?
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough.
No, ona mě zná,
on
on
way
ne.
out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Fine, fine. You're the boss.
OK.
Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you?
Počkat. Jak to, že ten narrátor teďko to použil?
That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then?
Huh.
Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Nechci tě zranit, ale nevěříš mi? Vezmi si tohle jako gesto mojí dobré vůle, dej nůž. OK. OK. OK.
You can't be serious. Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote, as do I. Abstain? You abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
To vůbec nevadí. To není důležitý. Tohle není demokracie, dáme jí nůž, je to tak. Lol.
You're going to get everyone killed, you know that, right? You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time, that sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count. She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
Nemám tušení, ty vole. Jsi nádherná, chce tě opravdu zachránit. Ježišmarja, ty vole. Lituju toho, bojíme se oba dva. Bože, to je tak strašně špatný tohle. Dobře. Jsi nádherná.
She pulls back, clearly caught off guard by whatever nonsense you just said to her.
Ježišmarja, ty vole.
I thought it was nice. Whether it's nice depends on if we meant it. We didn't mean it. Did we? If you were lying, we'd all know. But unfortunately, you weren't lying.
What? What do you mean by that? What kind of game are you playing?
No, to je ta nekopada, co mi tady chat chtěl po mně.
The look of surprise that momentarily softened her features vanishes as she steals her nerves. And then she buries the blade in your heart.
Scary.
What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you this is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it! I got you! You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time.
Ne, to ne. To ne.
Everything goes dark,
Ne.
And you die.
Ne. Detorn.
You're on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us.
Že by to nešlo vyřešit jinak než takhle?
I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. I voted against it. Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out. I just wanted to make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am on the right side of that argument. Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything. You're fixated on the past, whereas what you should be is fixated on the future.
Samozřejmě.
A visionary. I like it. Tell me more.
Je to tak, čete, už víme, že nemáme ženám dávat nože.
Gladly, my dear fellow, by cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy.
Co máme dělat?
But by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper. I like journeys. Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love.
To love.
She hates us, does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. As ridiculous as this guy is, maybe he has a point. I don't know if I necessarily buy into his whole love journey thing, but...
Je to tak. Ona se na chvilku zastavila, než nás ubudila k smrti, takže určitě tam je šance.
Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us.
Jak by to řekl Twitch chat,
I've already proven to her that we can change. So maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence. You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try. Give what another try?
Záznam, určitě.
You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. We are breaking your cruel cycle and whisking her away to freedom. Oh, are you now? Great. Twice, actually. Sure.
No, jdeme dál.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. The princess is a threat to you. She's a threat to me, and most importantly, she's a threat to the world.
Yes.
You know what you have to do. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore.
The
burned out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
Tady není nůž poprvé.
We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it.
Ona ho pořád má?
Well, it's not here. And if she has it, let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do.
Dobře, takže teď se z toho začíná stávat dating simulátor. Akorát se ženskou, která má nůž.
I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work. If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her. We've already shown her our heart.
Now she has to show us hers.
Určitě.
Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good side. You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent. You know what you have to do. You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. What are you doing? Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust that she'll find us beautiful as we are. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it?
Je to tak, no.
Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us. You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease. At least on the way down.
Yes,
but you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
Tak, a teď se rozhodne podle toho jejího hlasu, jo?
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
Chci tebe. Kde? Chci tě opravdu osvobodit. Opravdu osvobodit.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
Ano, už je doslova i to NPC neprášky ze mě.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles. The space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess. Her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
Já jsem ani neměl možnost. Ale pustíme ji, ne? Tam není asi co jiného, že jo? Můžu tě pustit, ale musíš mi dát ten nůž.
And I'm supposed to believe it's safe in your hands? That you aren't just saying what you need to say in order to fool me and save yourself?
Je tak něco, co můžu říct, abych ti změnil názor?
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. We don't need words to send a message. It is through action that we can show her our adoration, our devotion, our kindness.
Takže možná, že už jsme tak daleko, že jediný, co se počítá, je akce. Dobře, zkusíme to, jo. Nejsi jediná, kdo chce volno. Jsme tu oba dva zavřeni, musíme odejít společně.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
No, takže teď to zkusíme, jo. Můžu si teď vzít ten nůž?
Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back to the floor. She hangs her head in resignation.
Okay.
Wow. Reach for the blade.
You reach towards her bloodied hands,
laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms.
She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that set your heart aflutter?
Yeah, a little.
Krávo.
It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. Like we're special to her.
We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's show her how much both of us have changed.
Or, hear me out.
We slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance.
Jako za to, že bychom jí teďko zabili, musí být nějaký strašlivý achievement, kámo. Jako to bylo jako, teďko by to bylo fakt totální zvěrstvo.
That sounds like a splendid idea.
I see that the lines have been drawn.
It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Ty krávo. Chtěl jsem akorát zpátky svůj nůž. Je to na tobě. Ty vole. Cut her free.
Yes, what a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her. I can do whatever I want, and
Everyone deserves a chance at redemption.
that's right. What he said. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. So I want to help you all free her.
And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us now. One of the good guys.
You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade.
To je fakt neskutečné.
Such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge. Our blade is a dashing sword, and every dashing sword is an extension of its hero. It won't slip.
You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
OK, kámo, tak to bylo naprosto perfektní teda. Dobře.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
You see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
Ježíše, já jí nechci dávat pusu, to zase dopadne strašně špatně tohle. Ne, chat, ne. Za 5 subů to udělám. Zatím se skočím pro vodu. Kámo. Až to Michal zjistí, kolik se tady dneska utratil, tak tě vyhodí. Ale neboj se, já tě velice rád najmu jako moderátora.
Can we actually do that? No, you can't. Absolutely not. You know as well as I do that we can. And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special moment, now would we? If I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge.
Kdybych se tak mohl schodit z mostu.
Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss? You lean in and you kiss her. And she reciprocates enthusiastically. You kiss. It's done. Are you happy now? Come on now, this is the big moment. You can do better than that. Ugh, fine. You and the princess lock eyes and stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotion that comes from letting what once was hatred turn into pure, unbridled passion. Are you making fun of us? And then each of you close your eyes and kiss. Words can describe neither the nuclear fire nor the oceanic depth of your connection. Please. I think he actually likes romance. If history itself were not about to end, historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defining ballads, and great artists would expend entire lifetimes trying to merely capture the spark you hold right now.
Bože.
He's making fun of us. It doesn't matter either way, because this is good stuff.
This is good stuff, yes, kámo.
I'm aware of my skills. But unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever. You open your eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
That was nice.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? Love is an even more powerful weapon than our blade. We cut through those other vines just fine, they're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting, we can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
Cut into the thorns, step into the thorns. Jaký je mezi tím rozdíl? Jaký je? Ulož si to. Jo, jasně rozumím. To je zvláštní, jaký by mezi tím měl být rozdíl? Dobře, tak je rozsekáme prostě.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn star-crossed lovers like us to a cycle of violence and despair isn't a world worth saving. We'll weave something new together. Something better. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Step into your freedom.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going?
No jasně.
Why is it so cold?
A je to pryč. Tak. A tohle je úplný finále.
There's that mirror. This doesn't feel right. Yes, if they think it's bad.
You are nothing at all. A to není správné, nemůžeš být nic. Takže se ještě jednou podíváš a vidíš figuru? Jenom jako stín? Jsi to já?
I think you know what I am.
Nesnáším tenhle zvuk. Takže ty jsi byl narátol celou dobu. To byla ta vrána. Že jo?
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
Spoustu. A dost. Co je toto místo? Kde jsme?
A construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done. And it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world.
Takže on to viděl celou dobu.
But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore.
Co jsi ty? Jsi něco jako já?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Otázka, zda vůbec půjde. Chceš něco k tomu říct?
I do. People out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
Potom, co za všechno udělali, myslíš, že si někdo zaslouží žít?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
Ostatní říkali, že jsi něco takového už říkal. Byl každý narátor opravdu jiný? Jestli jako se ho ptáme na to, jestli to je lhal nebo ne.
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon.
Wow.
And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Máme tady spoustu otázek.
Then ask them and make it quick. I won't last for long now that you can see me.
Bolí to, když rozbíjím tvoje část.
I don't feel pain. Not physically. Soon I'll be gone entirely. And you'll be left alone with your final choice.
Wow.
So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her. But I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her and rid the world of death and suffering.
Takže on ještě pořád vnímá to, že já ji můžu zabít. Jste moje část, nebo si něco jiného?
No, I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point, I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is?
Run out of questions. Myslím, že došel čas. Nezabiju a chci ti to říct. Nezabiju jí a chci ti to říct, než se rozloučíme. Zabiju jí. Kámo, to je děsivý. Ještě jsem se nerozhodl.
I've said my piece and my time is up.
S Bohem.
It's like I said, I'm just an echo.
and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
You are in the long quiet, vast and nascent God. Tak, naposled do kabiny. Když dorazíš do srdce všeho, není tady žádný poslední vesel pro tebe, není tady vůbec nic. Wow.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Taky si mi chyběla. Co se bude dít teď? Ne, co to je long quiet?
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting.
Passive
but it's
player.
woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Takže chápu správně, že tohle je opravdu jako finále. Nemáš tam nějaké slovo?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
Jasně. Je tady tolik nedokončených příběhů, můžeme vážně odejít?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Tak přátelé, jak to vidíte vy? Vy vážně chcete zabít? Není to ještě jiná cesta?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin.
Jasně.
Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
Jo, takže já můžu teďko to přímo na to reagovat. Oh shit, tady toho je spousta. Adresy Directly. Takže přímo můžu mluvit k ní. OK. Kdybych věděl, co si, tak bych tě nepustil. Samozřejmě jsem ti pomohl. Nechtěl jsem, aby jsme se nesnášeli.
Then help me again. We are each other's liberation.
I crush you. I bleed you.
Yes, ma'am.
I grind you to paste. My scars are a memory of what you used to be to me. I want those feelings back.
To jsou postupně její echa všechny, že jo?
You run and you run far. And the flesh I hurl at you is answered by the empty air of a place I'd never been. Cold and lonely, but also true. I didn't know what to make of my freedom then.
Yes, eh?
But I know what to make of it now. You challenged me. And by challenging me, you gave me purpose. Life without obstacles is no life at all.
Takže znova directly, jo? Zkusíme to. Nechtěl se s tebou bojovat, protože jsem... shit. Tohle je těžký. OK, zkusím to poslední, jo?
A rejection of conflict is still conflict. There is no such thing as non-engagement. To refuse a choice is still to make a decision. All conflict is violence. But to remove conflict itself is to remove the textures that define us. You are nothing.
Tohle je která z nich?
Hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. A dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark. When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is...
Takže opět direct to zkusíme, jo? I miss when that was you. Okay.
My threads, like yours, are unbroken. She is me as much as I was her. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, you saw the need for impermanence. And it was through that means that you called your freedom. Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark?
Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark? That would be torture.
It would. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. To be permanent is to cease. To be paused is to be trapped. Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Mám extrémně hodně otázek. Dobře, jsem připraven, jak odejdeme.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words.
Wow.
The final peace lies with you.
You fall into yourself. Všechno kromě jí si ty. Já mám křídla. Okay. Tohle je vážně Elden Ring 2.
It's magnificent.
Co se bude dít teď?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Kámo, ta hudba je neskutečná. Tohle je teda o tom konfliktu. Kámo. Neskutečný. Takže jsi drak, který se starý udosl princeznu. No, spíš jsem se stal jako pobočníkem jí jako té bohyně, nebo boha, že jo, to je těžký, no. Wow. Dokončí naši hru, dobrý end nic nepočítá. Aha. Ale čete, já bych ještě chtěl jako zabít na konci. Mě jako vážně zajímá, jak to končí v té druhé variantě, že jo, protože... Takhle, má to tady někdo dohraný všechno? Je tohleto ten true ending? Protože toto vypadá jako taková Age of the Stars, že jo, že to je taková ten správný konec, že jo. Tak. Slay the princess.
Violence has always been our language, hasn't it?
A thought is a vine. When I succumbed to your compassion is what freed us both.
To už tady bylo.
The compassion is a thing that must be nurtured. And you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
Reject her authority.
What you mistake for lecture is merely observation. You can vainly struggle. I bleed, you run, and you run far. I didn't know what to make of you.
Takže ono je to vždycky stejný, jo. Pokračuj v tom.
If my words feel meaningless, you and when I proclaim only the only minute and I will not stop our dance until you understand.
Já to interpretoval tak, že ona je smrt a ty jsi život? Je tak. Tohle je poslední, že je to echo.
Nothing is in there is no you cannot remove something without removing the relations which define it. Open your eyes and accept what we
Nemůžu to udělat, nemůžu nechat všechno umřít.
Even now you think you can destroy me. If it takes all of eternity to break your delusion, I will still break it.
You don't have to face her alone.
Ha! Počkej, cože? Který hraje na sety?
All of them? I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
To mluvím já sám k sobě? Rád tě slyším.
It's good to be here. You'll never be able to strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
Samozřejmě.
Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it?
What the fuck?
Do you need me to describe things? That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place. Oh, you made it here too?
Ulož si to. Jakože došly mi savey. No to má víc stránek. Aha, to mi říkáte brzo. Dobrý, no.
We never really got to talk to her, did we? That's probably for the best. So you're not gonna say no, we've been through too much for that. And he's gone, so there's no one left to mess with but ourselves. You've gotten serious. Besides, what's the third? There's the guy. Those winding stairs again. But now there's only one way forward. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice. Yeah, it was a real mess.
It's okay. You can come down. The stairs won't bite. Not this time. Let's talk one last time before you kill us. If that's still what you want to do.
She doesn't sound messy anymore, though.
What the fuck?
At least somebody here feels put together. And forward we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting. That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. No weird fuzzy stuff or nonsense trying to pull us apart. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
Even after everything you've seen, and all the lives we've lived together, you still want to kill us. The Echo really got his hooks into you. Unless you have your own reasons for wanting us dead?
Ježiš, tady se to zase větví. Já nechci být bohem. Rozumím. Omlouvám se.
There's no need to apologize. We are what we are, and this is in your nature. Even through everything, through all the worlds we've seen and experienced, through all the lives we've known and lost, we could never imagine a world without you and us. It doesn't feel possible. Despite it all, we've always loved you. We hope you don't regret what comes next.
Mrkneš a princezna je pryč. Když jsi zničil jí, tak jsi zničil část sebe, ale svět neskončil. Všechno pokračuje.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
Ne, nevrátí se.
Then we did what we set out to do. Come on, let's get going. We don't need to linger down here anymore. That's right. We've got our whole...
Pak se vrátí z
It's quiet here. Yeah, there's not a lot for us to do, is there?
A world free from death. Everything here is you. To jsem zase já.
Come on, man. It shouldn't be that hard to break out of here. We're some sort of god, aren't we? He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us. It's finally over, isn't it?
There will be no more
All of us are
bloodshed.
still here. I knew we'd finally see it through. This is nice. No more hunting. Absolute reality. The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering. That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself. Welcome back, everyone. It's great to see you all again. Yeah, we can do that.
Ha. Zajímavý. Takhle řekl bych, že to, co to udělali předtím, tak bude něco jako true ending, ne? Co myslíte, chat? Jako je to teda upřímně, je to velmi zajímavý. Čas jít spát? Jo, já jsem to koukal možná trochu přehnal dneska, sorry. Já jsem to chtěl jako dohrát, že jo. Hele takhle, je to jako velice krátký titul, který bude asi mít, koukám, ještě jako teda miliardu různých jiných koukám, no, jako achievementů a tak. Ale teda upřímně není to vůbec špatný. Přijde mi, že by tam chybí taková ta mastery Stanley Parable, kdy prostě Stanley Parable tak je nejlepší hra tohoto žánru určitě. A přijde mi, že to je možná moc ukecený tím, že tam vedle narátora a hrdiny, tak jsou ještě jako další hlasy, že to je jakoby zbytečný, bych skoro jako řekl. Ale jako takhle určitě na to jedno zahrání, to je super teda. Docela jsem se královsky bavil. No a hlavně je to, kámo, indie hra. Kolik to stojí, ty vole? 5 euro? Dobře, teď to stojí 13, no. Ale ty, kámo, to je jako úplně jako skvělý titul. Daleko radši bych hrál hry tohoto typu, než si zahrál další Call of Duty. Takže takhle, neřekl bych, že to je perfektní hra, to rozhodně jako ne, ale je to velmi unikátní. To je super, to jo. 8 z 10? No, něco takového, no. Něco takového.